Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting right now with Chris Henney. Chris is President and CEO of the Ohio AgriBusiness Association. I'm glad I had enough breath to say all of that, Chris.
It's a mouthful.
Now, we know from past history that you've been involved in other organizations, but right now being President and CEO of this organization, the Ohio AgriBusiness Association, how many companies are involved? How many members do you have?
Well, we have a couple of hundred member companies, and those companies are anybody that provides services and supplies to Ohio's farmers specifically. But these companies are grain elevators, feed mills, seed fertilizer companies, those kind of suppliers and marketers for farmers.
Now, over the years and just the recent years, those kinds of companies have had a lot of mergers. What kind of impact does that have on the overall association?
Well, it certainly has an impact. You're right. What it's done is, while we have really just as many employees and just as many facilities in the state, there's less ownership because of the mergers and acquisitions. But it really, in some ways, has made the organization, or not the organization, but the industry stronger because those companies have more resources to invest into facilities and things like that in order to serve their farmer customers.
Well, does that, with the mergers and possibly having companies from outside Ohio become involved, is there more of an impact nationally on the association?
Yes, definitely. So we also see a lot of companies that are members of ours that come from outside of Ohio but do business in Ohio. And so we have everything, I say, from small mom and pops, local in the county, up to large multinational companies that operate all over the world but have a significant presence in Ohio also. And something that's been interesting is that over the last decade, we've seen more and more technology companies because we are seeing more and more technology in Ohio agriculture. So that's been really interesting. We welcome those folks as well.
Something that's just happened, Chris, the USMCA and also the trade agreement with China, is that going to have an impact with these tech kind of companies and the Ohio AgriBusiness Association?
Well, it impacts all of us, absolutely, because it's reopening those markets. It's hopefully strengthening those markets for Ohio's farmers. And then, of course, if it helps farmers, it's going to help our companies. And some of the things in the trade agreements are around identifying and preserving the types of crops and things, whether you talk about organics or other types of things. And so technology plays a part in that. So you specifically asked about technology. Yes, it'll help everyone.
Now, various issues come to the forefront from time to time, and I'm sure with the number of members that you have, you're working on various kinds of issues all the time.
Yeah, we do. It's one of the fun things about the job is that no 2 days are the same. We have lots of issues. So we just talked briefly about the trade agreements. We also are deeply immersed for many years now in water quality and managing nutrients. We represent fertilizer companies and those companies that sell fertilizer to farmers, custom apply fertilizer. Our companies do soil testing, help provide variable rate technology, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really important to us, and I'm really proud of the direction our ag retailers have gone. We help to work with the 4R certification program. We help develop that and help to lead that effort. And so that's one way our retailers have stepped up and shown their commitment to the nutrient management.
Well, with what you discussed with us so far and the fact that you have this annual meeting going on right now as we speak, that's something that I would have to imagine takes a lot of people to put on. And you're fortunate in the fact that you have a lot of members that are volunteers.
That's right. We couldn't do what we do without the strong volunteer team that we have. You know, we have a very small staff. There's only 5 of us. And so my staff team does a wonderful job of providing leadership, but it's the volunteers that we really need to help us identify some of the concerns and issues out there, because we try to keep our fingers on the pulse of the industry, but by bringing in employees of our member companies, they know truly what's going on the ground and enlighten us and help lead us, and putting on events like like the one today. The work that we do to advocate on behalf of our companies is really, really important. I'm blessed to be able to spend time down at the State House influencing and aiding our legislators and also our regulators on what different issues could mean for agriculture as they're deliberating in hearings and so on. We also go to D.C. Several times a year to talk with our congressional delegation and others. Advocacy is one of the most important things that we do for our members to represent them, because many, with bringing everyone together, they have a stronger voice, right? And our companies don't always have the time or the resources to actively lobby on their own. So by coalescing together in a trade association, we have a much stronger voice.
One of the thrust of the organization is aligning. What do you mean by that?
Well, aligning is a great term, and the way I envision it is we work within a larger ag organization. We supply and service Ohio's farmers, our companies do. But there are other groups that we need to be aligned with, and that's the Ohio Farm Bureau, our commodity group friends, and others in Ohio agriculture. But today, it's even more important that we align and work where we can with folks who aren't our traditional connections, and that would be environmental organizations like the Ohio Environmental Council or the Nature Conservancy. Those kind of folks, as we work on water quality, improving the water quality in Ohio, we all play a role, and the more that we can work together, the more we'll get accomplished. And so that's part of what we mean by aligning. We want to align forces to where we can all succeed together.
Well, that sort of makes that umbrella that we call agriculture even bigger. And I would suppose when you go into the State House and do a little bit of lobbying, they see you coming and they see your partnerships and all of that. That has to create such an impact. It may not make your job super easy, but you have to have that foot in the door a lot easier.
Absolutely. H2 Ohio, the Governor DeWine's H2 Ohio program that's going to be launched here in the next few weeks, that is a great example of how we all aligned together and worked and got support and we're very excited about the opportunities available to Ohio farmers. The dollars that are going to flow to those farmers this coming year and in future years to help them manage their farms in a way that's going to help water quality ultimately.
With everything that the organization does, I would imagine there might even be a few companies, smaller companies, that might be saying, well, what's in it for me? And I'm sure with everything you do and everybody that's a member, there has to be advantages for that smaller company just starting out.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have all different size companies in our membership, and they all need different things. Some of them need advocacy. Some of them need education for their employees. Some of them need other things, workers' comp program or health care options for their employees. And so we try to really look at our membership and identify the needs and deliver something for every size or every shape company in our membership. And I think that we do that pretty well. In fact, over the next month or so, we're going to be doing some focus groups, surveys, direct interviews with people to really make sure that we understand what our members need. And then that's going to help us launch for the next few years additional programs, resources, et cetera.
Well, hopefully we may have spurred the interest of a few of those smaller companies watching right now. If they would like to get in touch with you or the organization, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, there's a couple of ways. The easiest way is go on the internet and look for www.oaba.net for Ohio AgriBusiness Association. They can also call the office at 614-326-7520, 614-326-7520. Those are the two best ways to contact us. Anybody on the team can help if you call in.
Chris Henney has been our guest. Chris, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much, Gary. It's been a great time. I appreciate the opportunity.
United Equity, Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com.